Hey, Shalom Akim, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Come with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. All right. Before I get started with this lesson, all right, real quick lesson. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, with whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all, Barakathum. All right. So, I've been listening to the folly, you know what I'm saying, that's consistently being pushed by these sellouts, you know what I'm saying, because they're clear-cut sellouts, man, at this point, man. You know what I'm saying? Deacon Hakab, Brother Hassad, you know what I'm saying? And they're just going into the same flavor of the heathen can make it, you know what I'm saying? The Gentiles can be saved and all that stuff. All right. Of course, they never actually go into the understanding of salvation, you know what I'm saying, and what that actually is. They never explain that. They never really expound on these types of things of what does salvation mean? What does it entail? You know what I'm saying? All right. And so, thinking that, or understanding that salvation is directly tied to these chariots, you know what I'm saying, who the world ignorantly calls UFOs or UAPs, you know what I'm saying? The thing is, as we're seeing them do, they have to disregard, all right, the existence of these chariots. They have to disregard the importance of them, okay, in order to make this thing work. Because according to salvation, all right, according to the scriptures, salvation is us getting up in those chariots. According to the scriptures, our salvation is directly tied to us being saved by these chariots. All right, being beamed up into these chariots, the same way Enoch was beamed up into the chariot, the same way Elijah was beamed up in the chariot, the same way Yahweh Shai went up in that chariot. You see what I'm saying? So this is where you get these jokers that are directly coming against this doctrine, coming against the prophecies, all right, concerning the chariots, where they're saying, oh, well, they have this, in fact, so-called black Hebrew Israelites, they have this infatuation with these with these UFOs, all right, just putting a big stain on the message, all right, and on our hope. You see what I'm saying? This is why you can see these jokers from one body in Yahushua, all right, or one body. Excuse me. There used to be one body in Yahushua, but they're one body now. You know what I'm saying? And all they seem to want to do is go against all these miraculous things, these miracles. You know what I'm saying? These super spiritual things. You know what I'm saying? All right. And the scriptures tell you that they will no longer take heed to sound doctrine, man. The scriptures tell you that, all right? That in these last days, they will no longer take heed to sound doctrine, all right? And, and hey, all I can say is, I hope the money was worth it, man, because that bag had to have been really fat for these jokers to make such a 180 the way that they have. You know what I'm saying? And to pervert the doctrine, to pervert the gospel the way that they are. You know what I'm saying? All right. The guy even goes into using Revelation chapter 13, verse 10, okay, completely botching it. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that he can run to the NLT, all right, as if that's going to change what is written. You know what I'm saying? So let me get this precept real quick. Actually, I got a couple precepts I want to grab. Bear with me. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 16. It reads, "Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey." All right. The King James version is the closest version that you're going to get to the actual Hebrew. All right, because King James was very thorough. All right, in the use of his scholars. You know what I'm saying? In the use of his scholars to translate from the Hebrew from Latin to English. All right. So they were very thorough in doing so, and that's why this version is the most accurate version that you can rely on. All right, but let's go to the NLT, since that's what Hassad wants to do. Okay, it says, "But all who devour you will be devoured, and all your adversaries will be sent into exile. All who plunder you will be plundered, and all who attack you will be attacked." Okay? That sounds a lot like what? Sounds a lot like Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. You see what I'm saying? "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. You see what I'm saying? Let's go to the next video. Next precept. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 12. It says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it." And the drink of that cup was captivity. That cup was persecution. All right? It was slavery. What's it say in the NLT, Hassad? It says, "And this is what the Lord Yahweh says, if the innocent must suffer, how much more must you? You will not go unpunished. You must drink this cup of judgment." You see what I'm saying? So, it doesn't matter what these two goons want to say, man. You know what I'm saying? The goon squad. It don't matter what they want to say, man. All right? The same thing applies, and it's not going away. All right? It's not going away. You can't jump to Isaiah chapter 56, all right? And convince those who know the truth, all right, that try and convince them that this is talking about everybody on the planet. No, it's talking about the Israelites, man. You see what I'm saying? It's talking about the Israelites. That is not changed. And it will not change. You see what I'm saying? It will not change. Okay? because this trick only works on those who don't study. This trick only works on those who don't have the truth, who don't know, all right, who don't know how to break down these things, man. Before you go to different versions, all right, you have to first understand the King James Version up and down, man. You know what I'm saying? Before you go into the New Testament, you have to have a thorough understanding, a complete understanding of the Old Testament. Because the New Testament only complements the Old Testament. It only joins together. All right? It doesn't go contrary to what the Old Testament says. You see? And so they're trying to twist what the Old Testament says. No, the Old Testament was very clear. The covenant was made with only one people. You see what I'm saying? It was all established with one people. Those that have made a covenant by blood. You see, no other nation has done that. Let me get that real quick. All right, this is Psalms chapter 50 and verse 5. It reads, "Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice." All right, those that made a covenant with him by sacrifice. NLT, "Bring my faithful people to me, those who made a covenant with me by bringing sacrifices." Okay, and it's going into this very sacrifice, all right, that was made with Moses. Okay, that was made in the time of Moses, man. You can't disannul these things. You see what I'm saying? You can't break you can't break down that or break away that promise. So, I just wanted to make that real quick, you know what I'm saying? And get up out of here, man. All right, because these jokers got a lot of hell coming their way. Simple as that, man. So I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect in the nation of Israel. This has been your brothers, Zachariah Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakudash. Shalom.